Today, I'm going to teach you what it means to sweat. Oh, I don't mean I'm going to teach you how to sweat. I'm going to teach you what it means to sweat food, particularly vegetables, because it's super tasty and super easy. Let's get sweaty. Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and this channel is all about helping you be a better cook. And yes, today I'm going to teach you how to sweat, and no, not the kind of sweat that runs off your head. We are going to sweat vegetables, and in particular aromatics. And if you're not sure what aromatics is, it's one of those big culinary words. Aromatics are usually like vegetables or herbs that pack a lot of flavor. We use them to enhance other foods. So when you hear the term sweating, maybe you've read it in a recipe or you've heard it on TV or something. All it means to sweat is to really slowly cook some vegetables in a little bit of oil or butter covered. Think of sweating as kind of like sautéing's little brother. Whereas with sautéing, you use higher heat and you start to brown the vegetables or meat or whatever you're cooking. For sweating, again, it's usually for vegetables. We're just going to cook them really low, slow, and what we're going to do is we're going to extract the flavor of the vegetables. Now, usually when we sweat, we are doing it as part of a recipe. In this case, I'm going to sweat some vegetables, then I'm going to make a tomato sauce out of it. When you sweat, you extract the flavor from those vegetables and you also soften them. You get them nice and tender. So here is how to sweat some aromatics. Okay, so here we go. I'm just using a basic sauté pan here. You can use any pan you like. Just keep in mind you want it to be big enough for not just the vegetables you're sweating, but also whatever else you're going to cook with it, whether that's rice, some kind of sauce, etc. And you'll also need a lid because to sweat vegetables, you want to have a lid. So first thing we're going to do, we have this heating over about low, medium low, and we're going to coat the bottom of the pan with a bit of oil. You don't need too much here, but just a bit. Now, I am sautéing some aromatics. I'm sautéing onions, celery, and carrot. And if you watch my video on mirepoix, then you know that this is mirepoix, and that's kind of a foundation for a lot of recipes. So we're just gonna put everything in here, and just as if you were sautéing, we're just gonna kind of mix this around, get everything nice and coated. But again, instead of sautéing, instead of doing a high heat to kind of brown these, we are just gonna kind of coat these. We're going to cover, and we're just gonna cook them low for about 10 minutes or so until everything is nice and soft, and you will want to stir them once in a while. So this is all it really means to sweat vegetables. Isn't that easy? So we'll just keep this lid on, and I'll show you what it looks like every few minutes as we kind of soften these up. Now, I'm also going to add a little bit of salt and pepper just for some seasoning. That's totally optional, but again, I do like to add some seasoning at the start of cooking to really kind of build those flavors. So this is sweating. And two other things I'll mention here. As I said, I used oil. I just used like a basic vegetable oil. You could also use butter or really any type of oil you like. Olive oil would work great if you kind of want a little more flavorful vegetables, a little more flavorful aromatics. And I find that it also helps to use a glass lid if you have that. That can kind of help you keep track of things. So I can hear these kind of sizzling away. It's just been a couple minutes, but we'll just kind of give them a stir. And again, you just really want a lower heat for this. You really just want to soften these vegetables up, really extract that flavor. If you see them starting to turn brown, that's when you know that you're cooking them at a little too high of a temperature or maybe a little too long. Now, browning vegetables is great. Browning onions is great. That's how we get caramelization. But again, for this application for sweating, you really just want a nice softness and almost a translucency if you're talking about those onions, and the rest of the vegetables to be nice and soft. It smells really good already, by the way. We've only been cooking these for about 5 minutes now. Let me show you where we're at. As you can see from the lid, lots of condensation is coming up. That's exactly what you want. And I can see that these vegetables are getting nice and soft, but they still have their nice vibrant colors. And this is exactly what you want. Depending on how much you want to sweat these, either a lot or a little, I mean, you could stop here. But again, for a sauce, I want my vegetables to be pretty soft. And again, the reason we do this is not just to extract flavor, but also for texture. Yeah, I could just throw a bunch of tomato sauce in here and some other things and cook it, but it just wouldn't really be right. We wouldn't have that nice complex flavor that we're building by doing this. And also some of the vegetables might just be a little bit too hard. You don't really want that in a sauce. You kind of want things to be a little more even. So I'm just going to cook these for about another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I will start building my sauce. But this is sweating, guys. Isn't this easy? And just like that, about 10 minutes have gone by, and I'll show you the vegetables now. You can see they are just really nice and soft. The onions are translucent. Now, you can do things in stages. I am going to add some garlic to this, and I'm going to sweat that as well. So I chopped up some garlic, and I'm just going to add that now. And then I will sweat that garlic for just a couple minutes. Garlic tends to cook really, really fast. So that's why I'm adding the garlic now instead of at the beginning. And boy, things are really gonna start smelling good in here. So we've got some garlic in the pan. I'm gonna sweat the garlic for a couple minutes. Then I'll add my sauce and be on our way. And our sweating is complete. It's been about 12 minutes in all, and this is exactly what you want to see. We've got the garlic is just nice and translucent here. This smells absolutely amazing. And again, with sweating, it's usually just a first step in a recipe. So in this case, I'm going to build a nice tomato sauce. I'm going to have some pasta later on. It is going to be wonderful. So I'm going to add my tomatoes now, add some herbs, and get this going. And maybe in a future video, I'll show you how to make a quick tomato sauce like I'm doing now. But for now, that is just a quick tutorial on how to sweat vegetables, how to sweat aromatics. So now you know. What are you gonna sweat? I can't wait to hear. Hey, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Welcome to my kitchen. I am so glad you are here. If you find this helpful, let me know, because I think I might do more of these kind of like a demo and defined for kind of these key culinary words that not everybody knows, that may kind of sound complex, but in reality are really easy. So there you go. That's what sweating is all about. All right, until next time, I hope you want to cook. This is how I really sweated.